The battle over DHS funding continues in Congress, with Democrats now issuing a new demand. Reports say that a mask ban for ICE agents has emerged as the latest flashpoint in DHS funding negotiations. The Democrats are also demanding that ICE agents wear body cams during enforcement operations, which DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has also supported. So who would know better about what's going on than Indiana Congresswoman Erin Houchin, who has been on the front lines of these discussions? Good afternoon, Congresswoman, and thank you for joining us here on National Desk.
My pleasure. Great to be with you.
So, Congresswoman, we've seen that some of your colleagues, the more radical Democrats in particular, think that their party has already compromised too much on this. We've seen Axios report that some House Democrats are furious with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer for negotiating with Republicans to keep the government open. Does this prove to you that the radical left is happy to hurt Americans as leverage? Obviously, we saw this in the last shutdown, leverage over Republicans.
Well, clearly they are using the American people as leverage in this circumstance. In the One Big Beautiful Bill, we've already funded Border Patrol and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. So what they're asking for and the demands that they're making in exchange for funding DHS is really performative. Those funds have already been appropriated. So when they say they're making these demands, they're really holding up funding for things like TSA, FEMA, and the Coast Guard, because the other funding has already been appropriated through the One Big Beautiful Bill to the tune of about $150 billion. I will say that Secretary Noem has been responsive to their request to add body cams and has already taken action to do that, continues to want to expand body cams throughout the United States. I think Tom Homan being in the mix in Minnesota has been a good development, but the American people largely still support ICE enforcement to remove the thousands of criminal aliens, violent criminals, terrorists, pedophiles, et cetera, that the Biden administration let in. They want ICE to do their jobs, and this, again, is just Democrat theater.
And Congresswoman, let's look at what at least one of your colleagues is saying. Jerry Nadler was saying that Americans should be willing to kill, stab ICE officers, and you're in Indiana. Looking at what's going on in New York, we're seeing that the Democrats' war on law and order is ramping up like crazy there. Mayor Zoran Mamdani was urging his district attorney to not prosecute a man who was caught on body camera charging at police officers with a knife. The suspect was shot by police in self-defense. Then Mayor Mamdani visited the suspect in the hospital and claimed that he needed mental health care, not prosecution. So contrast for me, look at how do Republicans versus Democrats view these issues? Because to me, this seems like they are standing fully with the criminals.
Well, it is true that Republicans have long been the party of law and order. Before coming to Congress, I had a PR company that was exclusively nearly focused on helping law enforcement tell the story of the hard work, the brave work that they do on the good days, so that on bad days that they have some goodwill built up in the public for the good work that they're doing. It's dangerous work, and it's absolutely uncalled for anyone to act to encourage violence against our law enforcement officers, including our ICE officers. They're doing a very, very difficult job. And again, the American people do support removing these very violent criminal aliens. And those are the people that the Democrats are standing up for, not American citizens or safety in our American cities. You also see where the local Democrats are cooperating, like in Washington, D.C., Mayor Bowser is cooperating with the Trump administration to increase enforcement actions, and we've seen the success of that when local, state, and federal law enforcement officials work together. That has been a tremendous outcome for the safety of places like Washington, D.C. and Memphis, Tennessee. I do hope that in Minnesota and New York and other places, this rhetoric will be toned down. However, the history of our Democrat counterparts in agitating, even funding some of these agitation and these protests activities is an indicator to me that it's going to continue for the foreseeable future.
Congresswoman Erin Houchin, we're out of time. I just want to